Alright, hello again everybody. We're back with episode 2, and though we're in the Wutai War, I'd actually like to start by talking about Lazard a bit. We probably should have done this last time, but you know what, who cares? So, Lazard as a concept is a pretty good thing. You know, the guy who runs Soldier, and who's different from the guys that we are trained to hate from FF7. But Lazard himself always just sort of didn't feel right. And that's not even getting into the spoiler fact about him. It's just sort of he did seem too young, and that's saying something in Final Fantasy VII, where everybody is under the age of 30.
Even if they don't look under the age of 30.
Yeah,
like that guy right there?
Yeah.
Fun fact, Sid is actually 15.
But yeah, so Lazard looks too young.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily that he just looks too young, it's just that he doesn't look like he leads people, you know? He doesn't come off as a leader.
No, he looks like a bureaucrat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have to kind of wonder how the hell this guy is in charge of the elite fighting force on the planet.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, who he is might have something to do with it, because nepotism does seem to be the Shinra name of the game, but even then, you figured they'd shove him somewhere inconsequential.
Right. Yeah, not, in charge of their most important assets. No. Well, I guess Mako would be the most important assets, and that's more Reeve, but still.
Yeah.
The townspeople affectionately call them dumb apples.
So that's dumb asses, Angel. They call them dumb asses.
The local farms had plenty of them to see.
You know, I think Lazard could have been more interesting. Well, no. Let me restate that. I know he could have been more interesting.
Yeah.
But one thing that could have helped him, I think, was that we find out he actually is a badass or something. Like, he himself has undergone the soldier procedure.
Yeah.
And, everybody respects him, and you don't really know why. And then
at one point you have to fight him in a friendly match or something. Yeah.
Was my friend.
Yeah, that could have done a lot to make him stick in the mind.
Honor can be quite a burden.
Honor and a penis. No, so there's a theory talking about how only Angeal looks like he's over 30. That all of Crisis Core is not a documentary. It's Zack's memories. Essentially, it's his life flashing before his eyes as he lays dying. And that's why shit is weird and a lot of shit gets glossed over, and some of it is what he thinks happens. And that doesn't work entirely, but it actually hilariously explains why so many of the missions are so samey and boring. They were extremely samey and boring for Zack.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, the Wutai War should have been more than this. Like, we should have gotten at least 3 major missions that were just the Wutai War.
Yeah.
I like that they tried to do shit with the mop-up in the missions, but it should have been part of the actual story.
Oh yeah, where you got these remnants of Wutai who
Wasn't that the plan though? But they couldn't go through with it because the game was pushed before it was ready or something?
Yeah.
You know, I've never actually seen you use that. Don't you think it's
shit, why didn't they start with that stuff?
Wear, tear, and rust.
I'm pretty sure what they started with was the Nibelheim stuff.
Serious, aren't you?
Yeah.
And they really started with the end of the game and started trying to work backwards. but they did bits and pieces. Because the Nibelheim stuff and the end of the game is really the most fleshed out.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how he managed to do that.
Well, you see, he has a jetpack in his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever he has had Mexican for lunch, he can start pulling off insane acrobatic maneuvers.
Activating combat mode.
You know what would actually be kind of interesting? A Dynasty, not exactly Dynasty Warriors, but a very Dynasty Warriors-esque Wutai War game.
Yeah.
Like, play as Sephiroth in the Wutai War.
Yeah, I could have really... Yeah, I could have really made this portion of the game more of an impact.
Yeah.
Memorable. As it is, it's memorable in the sense that there wasn't enough of it.
Yeah. It's got a great set piece. It's well before the game sort of devolves into extremely samey.
Yeah. Yeah,
I wonder who those people are.
Yeah.
That dude with the ponytail doesn't look familiar at all.
No, I mean, this first major event really sets you up to expect a lot more than this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that even right there is kind of cool. How you gotta blast the dudes up on the wall, but
Yeah.
that's kind of more dynamic than most of the game.
Yeah. Because for all the 3D environments, the game really does technically just take place in a 2D plane that happens to be on different Z levels or different Y levels.
Yeah,
but
that's a really good way to describe it.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of since we were talking about Soul Calibur earlier, the first one, the Soul Edge, really, where you could sort of sidestep and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was kind of wonky, a little jerky. How it would react. Yeah, it's kind of the way I feel about the switching of axes in this.
Switching in and out of combat mode, or
no, switching in and out of the I guess directional plane.
Okay, yeah.
While you're in combat mode, I should say.
So
it just feels very jerky to me.
Yeah. So speaking of Soul Edge, on a tangent from the actual plot, I really loved how you could break your weapon and then still win with unarmed. I'd love to see something like that actually. They've got destructible everything but your weapon now in Soul Cal, so...
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more that could have done with that series, but that's a great third one, Dave.
Conflict resolved.
Did it bother either one of you guys? The constant activating combat mode, conflict resolved.
Yeah, there was no point to it after the first 3 times. Like, if it happened once at the start of a mission, and,
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, and then when if we just had a jingle to indicate in and out of combat, that'd be fine.
I didn't really have a problem with it.
Activating combat
I just got sick of it after some of the later missions that had a ridiculously high combat, encounter rate. So just sort of like, ugh.
Yeah, it's not like Final Fantasy Tactics where, you got that sort of the similar, kind of the same thing, but, a fight might last 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's...
Well, I mean, it's also not a, in Tactics, you don't have to worry about, it happening every 3 seconds. Mm-hmm. You have to worry about it when you're moving. And it's still this, but it's like, it'll happen, and you're like, okay, we're in a battle. Shit, but at least it's gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
They really need to get a Bluetooth set up.
They tried that, but Sephiroth would never stop listening to his jams, so they had to outlaw it.
I do like that they tried to keep the technology relatively consistent within the compilation titles, not the original game in the compilation, obviously.
Yeah.
But the compilation titles, at least, they tried to keep that consistent. So
yeah,
you got like Cloud using the Flippy Throne and Advent Children, and they didn't give everybody the new droid, in this one.
Yeah.
They could have very easily gone with something stupid like that.
A treasure in the middle of the road.
Hey, you got treasure. We got 4 people to kill. That's treasure.
They're super trained.
Yeah. Holy shit, somebody we've actually met. No, you've ruined it, Angeal. You didn't actually modulate the phase.
You wanted to make a sandwich with Sephiroth.
That's his goal in life.
Damn you, person, I know who it is, but game hasn't revealed.
It's Steve. His name is Steve.
That's Scott. Steve's dead.
Steve will never die. Especially not Steve the Avatar.
Activating combat mode.
Excuse the yawning and the like, folks. It is late, and we several of us have had a very long day.
Yes, we have. Tell you all about it now.
You know what does bug me a bit? Zack just lets these ambush. I get that they're ambushing him, but they show up and then they just walk up to him, and he's like, okay. Okay, now let's fight, as opposed to trying to take cover or anything,
Yeah, Zack's not that kind of guy.
Almost like he's not sure what they're gonna do.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind it if it was more deliberate, like, okay, come on, make this a fair fight, if he was being super Captain America about it, but it's just sort of a, the way that he's standing, it's, yeah.
Like, yeah, this is the guy we're gonna promote to first class after
this.
Damn you, other person, we know who it is, but hasn't shown up yet.
Yep, Nancy.
The DMW is another thing that kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
Oh, we have one, and it's someone we know that hasn't
shown up. A chocobo!
The black chocobo.
Yeah.
Here we go! Go, go, go!
Yeah, somebody made this comment on the forum, I forget who it was. Might have been Leonard or Licorice or Minato. One of those people who makes good points about Final Fantasy VII. And, but anyway, they said the DMW basically only existed for the scene at the end of the game where it breaks down.
Oh my god,
That really is why it exists.
And it's a good use.
Mostly keeping it together, like trying to hold back the tears until that moment happened, and like, I'm done.
It's a powerful use of it, honestly it is, but I'm not sure that it justified the whole game.
It really has some really like interesting when you get some of the videos. Really, it's like kind of interesting, but it still doesn't. It kind of reminds me of trance in Final Fantasy IX. It doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose, and it's kind of really annoying.
Well, okay, if there's one change you could make to trance in 9 that would have made it stupidly useful. Being able to stock the sucker instead of immediately going into it.
Yeah. Yeah, it made it kind of, clunky.
Yeah, it made it nearly impossible to, use it properly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I could understand that if you didn't use it, it would, like, slowly go down for a bit, but having to use it immediately was a pain.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but, you know, because it's also a plot mechanic, it's not just a gameplay mechanic, why it triggers that way, but, like you say, it would have still worked with the plot if it went down after you didn't use it.
Yeah, like, because the entire point is that you're seething over with emotion, but basically just, you're trying not to, you know, let loose.
Yeah, so you calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hell, like, I would even accept having to take, you know, some minor HP damage every turn that I didn't unleash, as I essentially just raged myself into a froth. You know, just so I could avoid accidentally using my trance the turn I end a random combat.
Yeah, you know, because it doesn't come up frequently at all. It's like never when you want it.
Yeah.
I will give this game that much. Its combat system is more fun than 9.
Yeah.
I hated 9.
Later. Conflict resolved.
Yeah, I can say nice things about Crisis Core Carlie.
Those are backhanded compliments.
So, if I was gonna improve... Now, this scene actually is a good example of Zack at least trying to react to, the thing, but it's still weird how the other guys just sort of come back behind him before he even fights the guys who head him off.
And Pixel's lost.
Yeah.
Pixel has always been lost. But worry not, for the stray sheep shall be returned to the flock.
He's awake now, by the way. I just noticed. Don't worry, I'll put
I'd like to point out that one of those goddamn, bullets managed to hit the wall that Zack was pressed against. That is some Wutai magic shit right there. I also want to point out that they have a nearly unlimited supply of bullets for what is essentially a naginata with a hollow tube. I'd also like to point out that that is the goddamn stupidest butt to a gun you can have. Yeah, I'm gonna have this giant blade pressed against my shoulder.
Didn't go wrong. That sort of reacted there.
Yeah.
Head on into the path of beasts coming to the mall. I wish he had just, like, shut the wall back and just went along to the next.
Yeah. But, you know what, with the idea that, Crisis Core is not the events as they happened, but events as they are recollected, I do like the idea that, all the battles are like Zack going, oh yeah, and I also fought a, what the hell was it, you know.
Big pink thing.
Yeah. Not like he's trying to brag, but he's just sort of like not thinking about it. It's like, did I fight a thing? I thought I fought a thing here. I might have fought it somewhere else. Anyways, there were these weird lion thingies with tongues. They threw a lot of those at me. Or maybe they just had a lot of, you know, a lot of holiday decorations up. I can't be sure. It was a while ago. I'm drunk. Aren't you driving, Zack? Yeah, but, you know.
Got into that Wutai sake when I went there. Yeah, this video is about over.
It's very hard to say you have successfully occupied it when you are just one man. I get that you are clearing the hell of it out, but occupying it requires multiple people.
You're in occupancy.
Yeah.
That's not quite.
I have signed a lease. I am in occupancy of the port. I'm getting Wi-Fi in a week.
And we're done.
Yep.